Okay, I can see that almost everyone is in already. So welcome everyone to today's webinar focused on increasing respondents' engagement by greening the world 3 by 3 and survey by survey. My name is Małgorzata and I'm head of marketing here at Nebu, located in Wormer, just outside of Amsterdam. In the Netherlands. I don't know how is it for you guys, but we have a beautiful weather today and it's really excellent. So what they say about that weather is true. It might be the first and only summer day this year. But back to the topic. In today's webinar, we will touch upon the integration between Nebu Interviewer and Ecomatcher, and obviously efficiency gains that this whole initiative holds for the marketing research industry at large, but especially for Nebu data collection tool users. A few words about the webinar itself. You are not going to be able to see anyone else except for the panelists. It's also impossible for you to share your content. You cannot turn on your audio or video either, so it's really one of those one-way video and audio going out sessions. You can pretty much listen and view. But if you have any questions, please send them to the Q&A. We will answer as many questions as possible. If we don't get all of them during the webinar, you can always get in touch with our specialist and they can sit down with you and your organization, set up a more personal demonstration. I would like to know how many of you already provide incentives. So I'm gonna just launch this tiny poll. If you could take a moment to answer. I would like to get a quick view on how many of you provide respondents with incentives. I can see an answer coming in. A few more people I see didn't answer. Okay, that's interesting. Not so many of you yet provide incentives, but I'm glad to see that the majority said no, but we would like to. So that's good. That's a business opportunity. That's why we are here today.
Yes.
Yeah, from my perspective, having a tree adopted as a reward for completing a survey sounds really cool. I'm positive that if an agent called me right now and told me that if I do take time and complete a survey, I will have a tree adopted on my behalf for life. I think I would drop off the webinar immediately, and I hope that the attendees and panelists wouldn't hold it against me. I mean, after all, it's a great cause, right? That brings me to introducing our panelists today. It was, I must admit that the gentlemen joining us are a truly inspiring men, and I have enormous pleasure to work with them. Erik van Belzen, founder and CEO of Nebu. Actually, this is this year already for a quarter of a century. That's an impressive number, Erik.
Yes.
He's also an active entrepreneur and a board member of the Digital Analytics Prof Group of MOA Academy, as well as a member of the board of Entrepreneurs Organizations Accelerator Program here in the Netherlands.
Correct. Well, Małgorzata, thank you for your kind introduction. Very happy to be here, and I'm proud to support this initiative with Nebu, as it has an excellent contribution to our environment. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Our second panelist is Bas Fransen. Bas is a founder and CEO of EcoMatcher. He's actually a Dutch living in Hong Kong for 15 years already, Bas?
10 years.
10 years. Well, it's a long time. Before his startup career, he had executive roles with Philips and IBM, among others. He's also an ex-Royal Dutch Navy officer. And well, based on my own experience, I can vouch that his passion for making the world a better place is genuinely infectious. And we are supposed to have another panelist, Charles. Charles Bata, he's a founder of Tree Adoption Uganda, one of the NGOs planting and taking care of trees adopted via EcoMatcher. He's having some technical difficulties, but yeah, the internet and in Uganda, yeah, it's tough. We hope that he will join the meeting, but we will see about it. A few words about Charles. He's currently a world merit expert for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which means health and well-being. And he's really spending a lot of time mentoring youth from all around the world working within the health sector. So this concludes the introduction, and Erik, I would like, if the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. If you would be so kind to move on to the next slide then. Yeah, okay, so the first thing I would like to say a bit is why did Nebu join this initiative? Well, we care about giving back to the world. I think it's not only about a thriving business, but it's also about being grateful and caring about people and the environment. That's our way of life. So we appreciate that that business and doing things back for the world can go hand in hand. So when we heard about EcoMatcher, we immediately saw the possibilities for EcoMatcher, for our clients, and especially for the farmers who are being helped to grow their business and to grow their support their lives, their family lives. So Bas will tell later more about the first one, so about EcoMatcher itself. Well, hopefully Charles, but otherwise one of us will do it. We'll tell more about the farmers and how they are being supported. And I'd like to focus here a bit more, also later in the presentation, about the benefits for you, for our clients, and for the respondents and panelists that you work with. So by using this great way of rewarding your respondents or your panelists, you achieve higher engagement, increased loyalty, and as a result of those, fewer refusals and more complete. So also in this context, I'd like to briefly mention 100 Weeks. That's another initiative that we're supporting. 100 Weeks helps women with small weekly donations for 2 weeks, for 2 years, so 100 weeks. That helps them to get out of poverty, to focus on starting and growing their own business. Using Dub Interviewer, we enable the organization 100 Weeks to keep track of the progress of these women, and using Nebu Data Hub, 100 Weeks can analyze and report their findings. Yeah. So when we heard about EcoMatcher, we immediately welcomed this 2-hour social responsibility program. And as research by Cone Communication has shown, corporate social responsibility is a very important factor in brand reputation and affinity. Well, as you can read here on the slide, I'm not going to say that all. What I am going to quote is Philippe Parker, founder and CEO of Smart Connect Research, who quoted or who told us, while we saw higher levels of employee engagement as a result Of this initiative, respondents from corporate suite to physicians are also keener to engage in our surveys when we introduced this initiative. This year, Smart Connect Research will take this partnership to another level, as we believe this is a win-win for everyone involved, according to Philippe Parker, founder and CEO of Smart Connect Research. So that's a bit about the background and why Nebu supports this initiative. Bas, I would like to hand the talking stick to you. Can you please tell us a bit more about EcoMatcher?
Absolutely. First of all, Eric, but also Margosata, thank you for having me today here with your clients. It's a great honor. I must honestly say that I cannot have imagined a better partner to date than Nebu. That's really cool. Let's get started maybe with a 30 seconds video. Some of you have seen it already, maybe, but just to get it going. Go ahead, Margosata. Is the sound on?
Margosata, can you rerun with the sound on?
Yeah, the sound is not on.
I think it was because I was muted. Let's try again.
Are you looking to increase response rates for your questionnaires? Now you can. And the best part? Do that while giving back to the environment. With EcoMatcher, you can reward respondents for completing a survey by adopting a tree on their behalf. They can track the tree and will know the specific location of the tree, along with the farmer who's taking care of it. EcoMatcher only works with vetted nonprofit organizations who are specialized in planting trees. So let's make the world greener, tree by tree, survey by survey.
Thank you. So if you go to the next slide, Margosata. So basically, as the little video shared with you, it's all about tree planting. Why do we do that? Now, we all know that climate change is happening. I will not elaborate on that too much. The good thing is actually that things can be done to address that. And in order to do that, you need to do what we would call sustainable development, doing things today, development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Now, studies, and Eric already touched base on that a little bit, show that companies start to realize that being involved in sustainable development actually drives higher market value. And what we want to do as a goal, as EcoMatcher, is offering a platform to company partners which offers a new way to join this sustainable development while improving their businesses. And we do that by offering a smart tree planting platform, which is scalable, meaningful, actionable, relevant, and transparent. And I will touch base on those elements in the next couple of slides. What I want to highlight here is that since the beginning of this year, EcoMatcher also has become a certified B Corporation. Not sure whether everybody on this webinar is familiar with the concept of B Corporation. There's a link here, you can check that. But basically what it relates to is that companies have to go through a rigorous, let's say, qualification process in order to be certified as a B Corp. And we're very proud of that. And again, I would invite you to have a quick look maybe after this webinar at this link. So we go to the next slide. So people always ask us, why do you focus on tree planting? Well, according to this particular chart of the World Research Institute, this chart gives a very good overview, comprehensive overview of the benefits of newly planted trees. Yes, improving air quality. Yes, mitigating climate change, but also improving water quality, giving jobs in rural areas, and etc. And the good thing also is that a tree, everybody understands. Everybody can relate to a tree. whether you are living in Africa, in the US, or here in this part of the world in Asia. The tree also has a fixed location, and somebody is, taking care of that tree, bringing in kind of a social element. So tree planting has numerous interesting benefits, and that's one of the reasons why EcoMatcher at this stage is focusing on tree planting. Now, go to the next slide to explain a little bit the pillars of our system without going too much into detail. We have 3 pillars. On one hand, we have a tree quarter, and the tree quarter basically is an app used by the foundations to take pictures of trees and farmers of every tree they plant. So every tree has a unique picture, and every tree has a picture of a farm. And the reason why we do that and why we bring that additional effort is that we want to bring transparency. So there are numerous other initiatives. They talk about a tree in a forest in a country. We talk about a specific tree in a specific location taken care by a specific farmer. And we believe that that transparency is very, very crucial and important. The next element of the system is the tree manager. So all those called tree records, the trees, a picture and data about the picture and the farmer, are being uploaded through a Wi-Fi environment or a low bandwidth 2 or 3G environment to the tree manager. The tree manager is basically a cloud-based database where all those records are residing, and digital tools which can be used by companies to make use of all those tree records. At the end of the value chain, you need to enable customers, consumers, tree recipients to look at the tree. For that, we have developed Tree Tracker, which is a web app where people can look at the tree, where people can learn about the tree, where people also can learn about who is the company behind the initiative. And they have the ability to share those trees on social media with friends and family, amplifying the brand who is, participating or driving this particular initiative. So the next video is a short video which demonstrates how Tree Tracker looks like. You also can look on that online on our website. And this is about a specific tree in Uganda where we will zoom into as we speak. So let's have a quick look at this little video. And somebody will see that once they receive a tree. So you zoom into Uganda with high resolution Bing Maps or Google Maps, depending on the location. You can see a picture of the farmer. You can see more information about the tree adoption plantation. And you can also see on the left-hand side those social media sharing facilities, or you can share it on LinkedIn. Or if your customer would decide to do so, they can adopt more trees, amplifying the whole initiative of tree gifting. And so this is, in a nutshell, one element of our platform called Tree Tracker. Now, if you go to the slide on the features. So we as a platform, we have numerous features, but just to highlight a few. First of all, very critical is that our platform is API-based. Now, most of you probably will know what that means. I didn't know that half a year ago, but now I know. But the API-based means that this has easy ways to link our system to any digital platform. And that makes the collaboration with an EcoMatcher platform relatively simple. Also, social media sharing, I already touched base on that. We also offer customization possibilities. For example, in Tree Tracker, you can upload logo and do some other fancy things to give that your own look and feel. We offer also reporting tools. So, for example, you can see here a mobile version of a reporting. Again, it's a snapshot where you can see how many trees you have adopted, what the carbon contribution is, how many families are being helped. And you can see we link those to the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations to give that a little bit more depth. And you can share that in your internal, external, public relation or internal communication. And of course, we give the map for where the trees are being planted. And we also give those maps to the foundations with whom we work. So we help them to basically to digitize their operation. That's what we do as well. Next slide, please. This is my last slide on who are our partners. We have tree planting partners in Indonesia, the Philippines, Guatemala, and Uganda. And unfortunately, Charles Butte, who's still not able, I guess, to get online, but he is our partner in Uganda. And the way we go through the selection process actually is not like we just pick and we run with them. We do a very careful selection process, because at the end, our promise is that we deliver trees, and we want to make sure that we don't burn our own feet by not teaming up with the right partners. So we have developed questionnaires, dedicated questionnaires. We have we do on-site visits. We talk to farmers. We talk to the people of the organization, and we make contracts. So just like I would source products out of China with contracts. We do the same with tree planting suppliers. Now, what do we do in return for our non-profits? We provide a marketing platform. Most of those tree planting organizations, with all respect, do amazing work, but they need some help in terms of marketing. We, of course, provide the funding in order to plant the trees, and the technologies, as I just touched based upon, professionalizing their operations. So doing a couple of things at the same time. Now, the plan was to give the floor to Charles. He unfortunately, I think, is still not able to get in. So maybe, Mario Zata, shall I take this portion, or what do you suggest?
Yeah. If you can tell a bit about this, yes, please do.
Yeah. So tree adoption Uganda. So we have looked at a number of partners in Central Africa, in the same time zone, for example, as Europe, and tree adoption Uganda got our attention because they not only do meaningful work in terms of tree planting, but at the same time they also work with unemployed young people in rural areas in Uganda, in Kampala, for example, and other places. And the combination is extremely meaningful. Not only they also plant fruit trees, which at the same time sequester carbon, but also provide fruits for local people. To date, a number of households already have been helped. They have planted 60,000 trees, and the number actually is growing drastically. And hopefully with our support, we should be able to blast that number big time in this year and 2019. And they have a number of young people trained doing the right thing. And you can see here some incredible pictures. This is, by the way, a live shot of our tree quarter, people planting trees in Uganda. I give the floor back to you.
Give to me. Yeah,
give to me.
I think those are some amazing pictures. Very nice to see indeed how this works in real life. So we were thinking, how can this help you as a market researcher in your business? So we identified three use cases, three ideas on how EcoMatcher can be applied to your business and to your panelists and respondents. Number one, as a communication team, as we showed and mentioned earlier, the research that has shown that doing something good for the world helps to increase your brand recognition, increase your brand reputation, and have people have a stronger affinity with your brand. So marketing, of course, from the social responsible goods. So for the company itself. Number two is an incentive program for panel members, where you can, where, for example, your panel members can exchange their points to adopt trees. It's a unique and competitive and meaningful reward to people, and it really engages your panel members in your projects and in your company. And number 3, which of course not only for panel members, but also your respondents' engagement. So if you, for example, have high-profile respondents or surveys, then it really encourages respondents to participate in a survey. It increases the completion rate on your surveys, and it inspires respondents to participate in future studies. So those are all items that we think could really benefit you with your business by adopting and joining us in this great way of working. Marcosata, I would like to ask you to tell us a bit about how it works.
Yes, my pleasure. So as Eric mentioned, there are 3 predefined by us use cases. Of course, there might be more, and we will be helpful to develop it with you guys. But let me touch upon 2 of them. So first, incentive program for panel members. The challenge for companies that do have and maintain a panel is not even to get people to complete a survey, because they already have expressed that they are willing to do so, but to make them like go back and do even more. So for Nebu clients, Nebu users, Nebu tool users with panel, we are creating those beautiful looking portals for respondents. They can log in, they have a list of all the surveys available for them. So the only thing we did to help clients work out with the flow and the EcoMatcher is that we've created a new functionality. You can specify how many points a respondent will receive for completing an interview. Those points can be later redeemed for rewards, and now one of the options available is for a respondent to pick to choose 2 out of the 3, and it's all automated. The respondents, they receive an email with a link to a track adopted 3. And I can mention here that you as our attendees, you will be able to anyway experience that kind of flow, because after the webinar, you will receive an email and invitation to a survey, and you will see everything yourself. The next use case is directed to fieldwork companies, and here you face a little bit different challenge. So you really need to grab a respondent attention. Either way, if you're conducting a telephonic research on online survey, you have only a few seconds to convince a potential respondent that it makes sense for them to participate in a study. So this is a print screen of an intro page I've created actually for the survey you will receive as attendees. So you can make it really very attractive. I actually wanted to share some information with you, so it's quite a lot of text, but you might as well just make write in big letters that the moment you complete a survey, you will have a tree adopted on your behalf. So hopefully our respondent is as excited as I would be about having a tree adopted on my behalf, and they do participate in a survey. This is a tiny survey you will receive as well in the follow-up email. And upon completing a survey, we've created a fully automated flow. The processes are being initiated in the background, and they result in with a respondent receiving once again an email with a link to track day 3, and you will be able to see it yourself. We had already a question posted asking how difficult is it to implement the workflow, and I have good news. It's super easy. Well, at least for Nebu clients, it's going to be super easy. I would like to thank Bente and Victor and Jan from our professional services for making this happen. So what will happen is that all the clients expressing a will to use EcoMatcher, you will be given, and yeah, we will install a special EcoMatcher package on your environment. It consists of 3 elements. They communicate with each other. So one of the project, the EcoMatcher project, it holds only a sample, and a sample in this case, this is actually a list of available trees with unique codes and URLs. This project communicates with fully automated background process that professional services created using Nebu Data Hub and ETL job, but you don't need to know about it. It's done for you. But pretty much this process fetches new trees. So you will be able to decide how many trees you'd like to have in the threshold. And the moment this number is lower than the indicated one, the trees will be uploaded. New trees, new tree codes will be uploaded to this EcoMatcher project. And a third component of the installation package is actually an example questionnaire. It holds this intro page. We will provide you some suggestions how to grab your respondents' attention fast. This example questionnaire also holds an example email template and a few custom prepared expressions that actually fetch those unique codes and create, prepare, and send out the automated email with a link to a tree. It may look a little bit complicated, but believe me, it's fully automated, and what counts for you and for participants is actually that they will be able to experience this fully automated flow that means that the moment someone participates and completes a survey, they are being received an email to track a tree adopted on their behalf. Eric.
Excellent. Thank you very much for explaining that whole process. So we're very ambitious in this project. We've set a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal to by 2020 have adopted 202,000 trees, which will lead to 500 families taking care of the trees and 50 million kilograms of sequestered carbon dioxide. Bas, can you please fill us in on that and how that such great results?
Well, the number of families, we take a number 400 trees per family. That is an average number over the NGOs with whom we collaborate. So Guatemala, Uganda, etc. But 400 is a good number. So 202,000 divided by 400 gets you 500. And we averagely use a number of 250 kilo per tree. Some trees are a bit less, some trees are a bit more. Like for example, teak trees in Indonesia, they last longer and they capture more carbon. Some are a bit lower, but the average is around 250 kilo. But that comes up to 50 million kilo carbon dioxide, which is a very significant contribution. Yeah.
It's very significant. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. Well, so to all of you listening and watching this, you understand that this is something that we cannot do alone. This is something where we really need you and want to support you to start adopting these trees. So please join this initiative with us. Yeah, I think, as Margaret said, there's room for some questions here. Margaret, did any questions come in already?
Yes, we have a few. I will just read out. You will decide who can answer. Okay, the first one. Can you give one person multiple trees?
Yeah, okay. Well, I think I can answer that. That's indeed, and that's the whole process that you just described. It's indeed possible to have multiple trees adopted by a person in one go or in multiple goes, and then in their app they will be able to track each and every one of those. Yeah.
Thank you. Will EcoMatcher also include other tree planting partners? Bas?
Yeah, we're working on that. So we are very proud to work with the current 4, but we want to offer more choice. So we are, as we speak, looking or actively looking in China and in India. And those are the 2 places where, at least this year, we want to add some tree planting foundations. And that would, give a significant coverage in global coverage and companies' choice. Yeah.
Okay, I have another one. Will EcoMatcher also include other causes other than trees?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we need to start somewhere, but EcoMatcher is basically a platform approach where technology is being developed, linking causes such as trees to companies in a very elegant way. But we definitely have taken into account that by 2019 we will look at other type of initiatives related to sustainability or climate change. Think solar panels, wind farms, ocean cleaning projects, etc. All projects you can basically, which you can digitize and localize or with GPS tracking codes and bring that to the platform into like a transparent package or product. It's definitely part of the roadmap, but that will be 2019.
Yeah. Well, a good question. What is the cost of a tree?
Very good question. Yeah. Can I start answering that? Must be a Dutch question. It's a very low amount. It's only $2.50 per tree, and that includes the tree adoption for life. Well, of course, the full transparency and new digital features provided by the EcoMatcher platform. It's all in there. So only $2.50 per tree. So also related to the previous question, can you do multiple? Yeah, indeed. If you have like doctors where you usually do a very high amount, it's very nice to have well, maybe a whole forest in one go.
That's true. I've received another question asking if there is if there are some gamification elements in the EcoMatcher platform itself.
Sorry?
Gamification elements in EcoMatcher platform.
So like shooting each other's trees or so.
I think so, yeah.
Let me put it in this way. There are definitely for this year plans to include gamification. The challenge here is that gamification can be very, very complex, but also can be very simple. And we prefer we have some customer leads with whom we're working on simple ways of gamification. So for example, like you have in airlines, you have, for example, a bronze, silver, and diamond membership, depending on how many miles you fly. You could do a similar thing with how many trees you have, increasing your eco status. That's one example. But there are other fancy, ways possible. We very much would love to hear feedback also or suggestions from partners, what they would like to see for their industry. And we can accommodate that.
Yeah. This looks, yeah, looks like we answered all questions. Of course, if something comes up to your minds after the webinar, please just contact us. We will be happy to take it further. You can always find more details on this page, nebu.com/ecomatcher. And there are also call to actions like a request for a call. You can just easily click on it and we will get back to you. Or of course you can send us an email. But I would like to really thank you for attending, taking the time. I would like to thank our panelists and well, for today's webinar, an amazing cooperation. Thank you on my side, and just keep in mind that soon you will receive an email with the invitation to a survey, so we can adopt trees on your behalf.
Okay. Well, also from my side, thank you very much for attending this webinar, and hopefully talk to you soon or see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.
Same for me. Thank you very much, all.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.